Hey everybody! Welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures. It is, well, my favorite time of the week, and hopefully yours too, where we get to look at some obscurities in literature. And I mean only the finest type of literature on this channel, obviously, because, well, it's my channel and it's going to be whatever the heck interests me at that moment. And if you've seen enough of these book reviews and videos that I've done and pointed out things to you, you probably notice a pattern that I'm really into books on designs and schematics. And I mean, that's just one of those things that I kind of grew up with. I was always exposed to. I know I had like all those Time Life and was it Bantam? I don't remember. All those sci-fi books about spaceships and stuff growing up. Always like airplane, cutouts, schematics, Jane's fighting ships, all those kinds of books. That was something that I had all through my childhood exposure to, and I've always enjoyed that. And that type of book has always been a great deal of enjoyment to me, something to go back to and flip through and always find something new. And I was at a local shop, and I came across this book by Jake Parker, Kepler's Intergalactic Guide to Spaceships. Now, this was originally Kickstarted. You can get it through his website, which I of course, will be putting a link to down at the bottom. And there's a few books of similar style that Mr. Parker has put out of also very interesting and similar themed genre type collections, of which maybe one of these days we'll review some others. But I just love this tagline: part comic, part art book, all spaceships. And I feel like I first discovered Jake Parker's work through student book orders, I want to say. I know he illustrated a series of graphic novels called Missile Mouse, which is funny because it was obviously a ode to characters like Rocket Raccoon, and then Mr. Parker here came full circle and then actually illustrated Rocket Raccoon, so it was kind of cool to see. But we're going to talk about spaceships today, and nothing but spaceships. And if you're a fan of spaceship artwork, if you grew up playing all those kinds of tabletop games, as is often something that we like to discuss on this channel, I feel like I haven't talked about like miniatures and figures and stuff like that as much as I have in the past, but I don't know, maybe that's just kind of a state of the industry type thing. But I love, as soon as you open it up, you just greet it with funky, fun, interesting designs, and very colorful ones at that. And the author is not making any disingenuous remarks. It is part comic, which I thought is kind of cool because it actually is interspersed all throughout the book itself. And of course you have to have call-outs on all of the various ships that show up. And personally, I absolutely love that when you have just these little bits of lore and background knowledge and just how everything operates. When I was a kid, in around like 6th grade, junior high school, that era, I remember doing similar type things with my friends, all organizing together our ideas and putting together our own like monster manual and world building files and stuff like that. I have absolutely no idea where any of those files are at this point in time in history. I'm sure they don't exist in any physical form. Those were in the days before computers were as prevalent as they are nowadays. And it would have been cool to have, some kind of documentation of all that. But sadly, we don't. I do love me a good monster manual, and I do love me a good cross-section of non-existent stuff. I absolutely am here for that kind of thing. I love it. And again, just page after page of interesting, funky design ships of similar classes. And they're all originals. That's another thing I think is worth mentioning to everybody. I mean, there's some ships that are a bit of an homage to others. But, as somebody who grew up with, like, Chris Foss art and, homeworld video games, Star Wars being a major impact for all of us, with those big Star Destroyer space battles and stuff. And it's always cool to see. Various shuttle types. I mean, I like how they're all kind of grouped and organized throughout the book. Military section. I also like that the book is put together horizontally. I feel like we don't get enough of that kind of stuff. Of course, you get all the specifications. I mean, that's very Harlockian. Arcadian, if I should say correctly. But just kind of fun stuff. And I mean, it's a good 120 plus pages of both comics and spaceships. And since I have a little bit of time, I guess I can show off. I have another one of his earlier sketchbooks, which you can also find at his website. But again, in fact, here is Missile Mouse. I knew it was in one of these books. He might actually be in the spaceship one as well. But this is just absolutely my kind of thing. The only downside, I guess, to this book is, you know, that there is no real rhyme or reason for anything to be there. Which is neither here nor there. I swear that's going to be based on, like, the Ralph McQuarrie preliminary sketches. You can always appreciate me a good mecha. You can see this is much earlier, I think, in terms of publishing than the Spaceships one, but you can see a lot of the early concepts and designs were getting worked on at this point. Some fun stuff. Almost Toriyama-ish at times, just with the little funky, clunky vehicles like that. I think a lot of us of a certain age kind of grew up with things like that. That's always kind of fun to see. Anyways, as I said, we'll have those links down below. Hopefully you guys are going to find something you enjoy there too. I know I have, and I will leave it at that. So with that said, then, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.